Welcome to our recap of our fantastic Sonic Temple extravaganza. We've been here the last few days. Yes, we're filming.
Yeah, this has been rolling for like
that red light up front means we're recording.
Oh, I thought that meant standby.
That means stand by. That means pause. Get ready. We've been here in Columbus for the past few days enjoying Sonic Temple. We were all invited to partake in the music and art culture that is here at the MAPFRE Stadium. I think I speak for myself. This has been a very memorable event, almost all good.
Yes.
Before we get going on
absolutely.
before we start rambling and laughing and talking over each other, which is probably going to be most of this video, we're just going to do the basic introductions first. We'll start on my right and work our way around. Mark?
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm the host of Spectrum Pulse, music, movies, art, and culture. You all know the drill. I actually flew down on Thursday from Canada down to Columbus. An easy enough commute to get down here, and then I was staying with right to my left.
Gretchen, say who you are.
You just said who I was.
That's true.
Hi, I'm Gretchen.
What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, go Gretchen. I'm not music related.
I think I saw a couple of music related things on your channel. Now I know it's.
Call it out.
Now listen.
Man, if I would have said that, I would have gotten the death glare.
Now listen, I saw there's piercings and there's tattoos and there's makeup, but I saw something about music. I know I did.
A while ago.
No, it was How to Survive a Music Festival.
Oh, well, yeah, that.
Ooh. So that very perfect. Okay, everyone, I'm Crash Thompson, also known as the Rock Critic on YouTube. I am the lazy bastard of the group because this festival's in Ohio and I'm from Indiana. This was like a 3-hour drive.
Yeah, we all had at least.
We all had some treks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sleeping until noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna get lunch.
He's like, what was that?
Yeah, you're bringing me lunch. That's the deal.
You're bringing me lunch.
So we're showing up at your party place.
Yeah.
Okay, John?
Hey guys, John from ARTV here. I've had a fantastic weekend here at Sonic Temple, and I mean that genuinely, except for the night after getting out of the Foo Fighters.
We'll get into that.
I'm gonna leave it at that for now, though. But I talk about all things music on both of my channels, and this is my girlfriend Infinity on Hannah.
I was gonna say that.
Hannah?
You're so used to it.
I'm so used to doing it for our
does it every
collabs.
time.
For our collabs that we do.
Let her introduce herself.
But yeah, I'm Hannah from Infinity on Hannah, as we said. Music related content here as well.
There's so much sass in this room.
There is.
There has to be.
It's been a long weekend.
It has been a long weekend.
Yeah.
So,
Should we just have it out right here?
Yes.
Alright.
Six-way cage match.
Yes.
It'll be better than Money in the Bank.
ooh, WWE spoilers. Sorry, everyone that watched and paid money for that. Sorry, also, Game of Thrones fans, if you're not happy with a conclusive ending.
I'm glad we got to see Game of Thrones instead.
What?
Okay, now I'm the one who dies.
This is Game of Thrones. Now I get it.
I was like, did he mean to say Foo Fighters?
Yes, he was very confused all of a sudden. So now that we're home, the weekend's over. This was a 3-day festival, multi-stages on the grounds of the MLS Arena here in Columbus. We saw a lot of bands. We're not going to go through every one because I don't think anyone here saw every band because that's impossible. However, we're going to go through a recap of what we liked, disliked, and pretty much everything we saw. This is kind of our review and recap of what we love. This is going to be off the cuff. There's no real form or format. It's just 6 friends talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, what we loved, and what crazy things we saw. So to start off, on Friday morning when we all got in, we had our bags checked. We got through media. Everything was fine. And we had to start walking around before everyone else got in.
Which was nice.
Which was
pretty smooth, yeah.
Awesome. So can you guys please elaborate on how well everything looked? Like the actual skins, the artwork, everything there.
Honestly,
Oh, yeah.
so impressed.
I'm glad we were able to go in there before everyone else.
Yeah.
Everything.
Getting the chance to
It was-
see the grounds and see everything
Yeah.
just empty and quiet,
Right.
like the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
That
a
was
Crash took a
powerful.
photo of us, which was
Before
great.
everyone
Yeah.
else, yeah.
And then Luke and Gretchen copied us
We
and took
did.
a photo. And
I
Yeah.
saw y'all and I was like, the background is so pretty.
I know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gretchen Whisper said we can do better than that.
Oh!
before something tragically happens. to
Just
me.
like at the end of Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Are you really that upset about that joke? Really?
oh.
So listen, I like that it said it was a music and art festival,
Yes.
and it had the art.
And they could have
Yeah.
skimmed on that.
They
They could have
delivered.
just had like
Yeah,
a few
but-
vendors. No,
No, it
the
was
entire
really
arena.
Yes.
They did full,
Decorated.
huge, like I would say 30, 40-foot murals.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
murals, yeah.
Murals all over the sides of the Coliseum.
They had the artists.
giant.
Yeah,
the
the
artist
artist was there still
Yeah.
painting
Yeah.
while we were there, like the music was
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on.
Oh yeah.
There was so much to see, like you really had to do like laps around the arena just to take it all in.
Yeah.
It was,
So on the art side, yeah, they lived up to the name, and they didn't have to
No.
because
Not at
people
all.
were there for them.
People could say,
Right.
"Oh, art," but music is art, and that's what they could leave it at.
Yeah, they really
and they
could
could
have.
skip out and say, "Well, there's a portrait of Dave Grohl. Are you happy?"
they did not though. The grounds were absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely strewn.
It was a
There's
good
gonna be
layout.
beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty easy to get around. I don't know how you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah,
felt.
that's the
Yeah,
other thing I
no,
want to
it
say
was-
too.
yeah.
Like some of these DWP festivals are at really big parks in big cities. Sometimes it's really hard to get from stage to
Yeah.
stage. Gretchen and I can attest to that from Rockville.
Oh,
This was in an MLS arena. The two actual stages, the side stages that weren't in the main building, were in like the side areas of the ground.
like the parking lot area.
Yes, like the
Like
parking lot areas.
basically.
They
And
just
you
like
could
fenced
probably
every-
get from one stage to the other within like 5 minutes.
with
Yeah,
less,
yeah,
less,
yeah.
less than that, with
Yeah.
foot traffic, with the big crowds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and we
this was
navigated
super
several
easy.
times doing that.
So
Yeah.
the flow between buildings was wherever you wanted to go, it was easy to get to. It was
Yeah.
never more.
Nothing
Like
was
a
too
10, 15 minute wait tops to whatever you wanted to go to. Whether
And what
it's a
also was,
stage
yeah.
or absolutely.
And what also was cool is like we weren't walking on the soccer field. They laid out rubber matting.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
completely covered it. It could have been a disaster.
It could have been
with all
nasty.
of
That
those.
being
Could have been
nasty.
mud.
Yeah, and like it was really well organized from that part.
Yes.
So on Friday there were a lot of bands that played, and like there was only some overlap if you wanted to see the side stage, but nothing overlapped to the main stage, which
No.
was in the actual soccer park.
Yes.
And I can't stress this enough. It was a sellout all 3 days.
Yeah, I honestly, the cynic in me was like, oh, they're bluffing on the sellout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
No.
and no, they
No.
sold
You
that
could
out.
see it.
I
all
saw
the
that.
floor,
I-
every seat.
The proof's in the pudding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Look at
I mean,
this.
you guys have seen some of the pictures we
yeah, throw a photo on screen here, Lou.
I
This
will.
is
I got
what it
photos.
looked like.
Yeah.
This is what it looked like.
Just like the end of the night when Ghost, even before System of a Down played,
Yeah.
Ghost had
Packed it out.
everyone
Ghost was
packed.
Ghost?
corner to corner, even in the pits, like even in
Yeah.
the field where we were, it was shoulder to shoulder, just
Yeah.
absolutely bursting.
So every seat, every like bleacher bench, all the way up to the top tier, like the upper bowl, and then people standing and walking around like standing room only style.
yeah,
Everything was filled.
Yeah.
yeah.
And Ghost was my personal favorite performance on Friday.
Right.
Let's go around a little bit. What were some of your favorite performances on Friday that you remember?
Ghost.
Ghost
Yeah,
was
that
up there
one
for
of
a
my
while.
Yeah,
favorites,
Ghost
too.
is
I
one
was
of
really
mine, too.
impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
And she was newer
I
to
was gonna
Ghost.
say,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was
Seeing that.
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I
cool.
was like, this is so cool.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
very theatric.
It
The
was.
stage
Yeah.
design was impeccable, I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah.
And I really also loved System that night. They played. That was a bucket
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
That was a
I think
bucket list
both
for
of
me
us.
too. For
Yeah,
my
System.
fam. So yeah,
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I thought the Surge sounded better vocally than he
Yes,
had
he's
in a
improved a
while.
lot
Yeah.
since when they first announced their
Their comeback,
sort of
yeah.
tours. He was a little rusty at first when they were starting that back out, but he's gotten back on his A game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
they,
that's
they
awesome.
delivered a very good show.
Is there any potential chance for new music from System of a
No.
Down ever?
Not at all.
No.
Nope, not at all.
Let me
No.
finish my hopeful question.
No, there's no hope.
Oh, I was lost.
That's Slipknot, baby. That's
Yeah.
not System of a Down.
Oh, I thought it was Star Wars. What is it, A New Hope?
I am too. So some of the other bands that were really great. Don't get all sassy. That's not how I sound. That's a bad impression of me. That is not how I sound. No.
Continue.
Okay then.
I've been watching all this like the past couple of
Yeah.
days. It's
Yeah.
been
Poor Mark.
extremely amusing.
Mark's been just sitting there in the washing like us like have arguments and stuff the entire time.
It's adorable.
Over Game of
I know.
Thrones.
That was not an argument.
Yeah.
I had a bottle.
That was
thrown
just
at
a
me
rant.
from Game of Thrones.
That's just a
Yes.
rant.
Yeah.
You sound like a monster.
You threw a bottle at me.
You threw a monster at me.
So other things that happened though, like Friday, for me personally, I had seen I'd only seen Parkway Drive once before. This was my first time seeing the festival performance. I really appreciate it. They sounded amazing.
Yeah.
They put some energy out there. So that was another one top for me.
I caught that performance as well, and they absolutely ruled.
And
And
while
that
we-
crowd was into
Awesome.
it. They
Another
was
one
into
that
it.
I think I told you guys about, like prepped you for.
Avatar.
Avatar.
Yeah, that was
I
crazy.
love their
We
music.
all part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get the music's not for
I would-
everyone, but the
Yeah.
show itself.
It was a
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
It was a spectacle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spectacle's the right word.
Yeah.
Yes.
Spectacle, yeah.
Yeah. I can't say the music was 100% for me.
That's
But-
fine. No, I totally get that.
But yeah, we respect it.
Yeah.
But again, it's with Ghost, the theatrics
Yeah.
make up for that in
It
a
is.
certain
Well,
sense.
yes and no, because you say that because Ghost executed the theatrics so much more effectively
I
with
would
similar
say-
tones and,
agree.
well, let's be honest, much better melodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that's what I was kind of getting at.
Avatar and Ghost are not completely
Comparable.
equivalent.
Yeah.
However, I do
Yeah.
agree that Ghost is a better show than Avatar, and this is coming from an Avatar fan.
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So,
right, right.
Another band that I think won some of you guys over from their live show is Hailstorm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hailstorm.
Yes.
Oh, you guys agree with me now that Hailstorm is so much better live than on
My
Avatar?
So
God.
much
Yes,
better
they
live.
bring it. They bring it.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, it is a shame we don't have like a live album from them or something else that brings out what we saw in that live performance.
It's a production issue at this point. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like as I was talking with you, Crash, earlier, like you get the guy who produced Last Cloud Nothing's album, or you know what? Let's go old school. Get Steve Albini to do something for God's sakes. Like get something.
Bring a little bit something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it needs a little
grit
more.
to it.
Yeah,
It needs
because
something.
like
yeah,
just because like when we see Hailstorm on stage, they are shredding on their knees,
Yeah.
digging
Right.
into their guitars for
I don't
minutes
feel
on
that.
end.
I don't feel that on the
They
album.
Never.
Yeah,
You never
you
do.
don't get that feeling.
I haven't felt it at least since the Strange Case of.
Like Love Bites and
Yeah,
stuff
Love
like
Bites.
that. Yeah,
That was the
When-
first
you get that in
album.
that.
When that
And
won
that's-
like the Grammy and everything, I was like, yeah, well deserved.
Yeah.
But after that, it was just like I'm not feeling the
Yeah,
punch. But
you-
live, it translates.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Live, you see even the newer stuff you hear live. It's like, wow, they're really throwing down for some of this
They
stuff.
sounded
Exactly.
it sounded really good on was it Miss the Misery?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one I
Yeah.
loved. I thought that sounded so good.
Also, a great moment. Lizzie Hale gave a guitar
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
guitar
cute.
to a like a 7-year-old girl or something
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
That's
Maybe a
she-
little older. Okay, I can't.
Well, she was
Oh,
young.
young
She was a
girl.
little girl. She was
Young.
young girl.
She couldn't have been older than like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
She was old. She was little. She was little.
Who here would pee their pants if Lizzie Hale actually gave them a guitar?
Yeah.
That's
Honest?
crazy.
I don't know if that would be my response, but yeah.
Well, it would.
Oh my god!
Why don't we wear pants today?
So while that's going on,
Who else did you like Friday, Mike?
Yeah, anyone that
I
names
will
it,
say
like-
that I'll say this. I'll say two things. The first thing was that, given how critical I was of Zeal and Ardor, they put on a good show.
Yes.
Like legit surprised there how well some elements came together. Even if I do have criticisms that they clearly haven't thought through things as cleanly as they should in some of their presentation. The second one that I don't really have much criticisms at all is Bad Flower.
Yeah, we were just about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were just gonna say.
I think that
yeah.
won people over. Go ahead.
Yeah. What did you think? I know you.
Yeah, that was my first time seeing them. I thought they were really fun, and they had a great crowd.
Yeah,
They
they
were
were
always-
They had a bigger
Yeah.
crowd than I thought they would. So
Yeah, and they were like
that
2
was
o'clock.
Really cool.
2 o'clock on Friday.
They
Yeah,
fit
they
right
had
on the
big
main
crowd.
stage.
I told you. I
Yeah.
said. I argued. I was like, I feel like they should play later in the day because
Yeah.
they would
Yeah.
get that big crowd. But
Honestly,
people
they
came.
deserved it too.
People
Yeah,
came.
I thought
They,
they came,
brought. They
Can we-
brought. They brought an evening
Yeah.
show too.
They opened
Yeah,
to
good
it.
afternoon.
Can we replace like we replace Beartooth with them?
Yeah,
I
that's
would
what I
be
said. I
so
literally
happy
said
for
to
that.
Luke.
Okay.
I said
I'd love
flip
to
them.
do that.
Flip them,
Flip
like
those.
Beartooth.
I
Put
was
the respect where it's
so
due.
sad with Beartooth Live. Like,
Me too.
Really?
Was it not? We
It
didn't
was not that
go.
it was.
I
I
didn't
love
go.
Beartooth.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Album,
side.
album, but live, they just.
Caleb's
I
voice
don't
gets
feel
shot
it.
a lot of times.
I
I feel
don't feel
like,
it.
and it's like.
And this is our second time seeing Beartooth this month, and like we both feel the same way. It's
Maybe
like
it was like a
Yeah,
bad time
fluke,
before,
yeah.
Yeah.
but
No,
it's
2
just-
times now.
It's,
Yeah.
it's just like something's not clicking.
Yeah.
Like you have Caleb who cannot stay still.
No.
And then you have 4 band members who are statues.
Who are
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
that's
okay,
Yeah.
and then but then you have the rowdiest crowd, and like that just
Yeah,
goes
absolutely.
It's just, I think it's
That
getting a little
crowd.
one-noted in some places. You
It's
know
a
what I
cult
mean?
at this point. It's the same
Yes.
thing we get Meshuggah. Like
Yes.
I don't think any of us actually caught Meshuggah.
No.
I didn't see
No,
this.
what's that?
I saw him at Rockville.
I actually saw the last half of the
Okay.
show
Go
as
ahead.
I was trying to get good seats for Ghost.
Yeah.
Go ahead, yeah.
That's
But
right.
yeah,
What
we
did you
caught the
think?
last. The thing is, again, it's just they were going through the motions.
Right.
Even the crowd wasn't really all that into it. I remember they wrapped up their set, and it almost felt like they just, they wrapped up the set. It was like, good night.
Bye.
They walked off.
Yeah.
No reaction. No huge.
Sucks.
Woo!
Sugar.com, everyone, bye.
Yeah.
Let's say,
I feel like a
like,
couple hours.
Blink
back.
and you'd have missed it. There was just no energy at that Sugar show, and given the way
That
they were
sucks.
playing,
With this,
there was no reason for them. To
That's
have energy
unfortunate.
either. So
Yeah.
ugh.
And this is like the big festival.
yeah, I was about to say with the
Yeah,
festival,
yeah,
you
this is
where you
expect
step
that
it up.
crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
Winning
and
people over.
I
Yeah,
just-
it is because of the time.
I don't know if there were people
Maybe.
in that Sugar crowd that were
Riding
digging it.
Ghost.
Yeah,
They weren't showing it.
they weren't showing
Yeah.
it. They weren't showing it.
That's
that
a
was that was a cold fish.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else I saw Friday. I think that was mainly.
Yeah.
I think we mainly covered all the bases there.
I think that's
Yeah,
pretty much for what
I
we
think so.
saw on Friday.
After Ghost made all our asses tingle and twinge.
Yes.
What was the line? Can someone please quote the line that Cardinal Copia said about tickling?
Oh, what did he say? I remember
Tickling
that.
of the tank.
Tingling of the tank.
Yeah.
Tickle
That's
the
right.
taint.
Tickle
Yes.
that tank.
Was your taint tickled?
He demonstrated what he would do visually through the whole song.
Yeah.
He did
Yes,
not
he
hold
did.
back.
Yes, he did.
He
It's
never
part of
does.
the theatrics.
He never does.
But you have to realize that there was a whole group of people who are very into that.
Oh,
Yes.
Tank tickling?
By him specifically.
Oh. Yes. of
By
course.
Cardinal Copia.
Yes.
Man, what kind of church is this?
Not
A fun one.
I was gonna say, sign me up. Sorry.
Day 2.
Man.
Day 2. Yes.
So day 1, big success
Yes.
outside
Big
of
success.
just
Yes.
everything was solid.
Yes.
Day 2, Saturday.
That was like our best day, I think.
I think so.
I think that was the smoothest
That was-
day.
that
I think it was
Definitely.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt
When
too.
you want to kick off a festival, that day 1 is like the model for
Yeah.
that.
I agree.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So Saturday, day 2 kicked off. Weather was a little bit hotter.
Yes.
So and by a little bit, I'm talking
Yeah,
like
it
10
was hot.
degrees.
I'm breaking out the
it was-
sunscreen.
It was
Yeah.
a good
It was
87,
nice, though.
88
It was
degrees at the
beautiful.
worst.
And like when we talk about hot, we got to go to media. We got to
Yeah,
go to an AC.
let's talk about that a little bit
Yeah,
because
before we get going.
Yeah, we hadn't had, you guys had, but the
No.
4 of us hadn't had media
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah,
before.
so like we didn't have to wait at the barricade for bands. We didn't have to be out in the sun and
No.
sitting on concrete.
we
and
could
just
come and
waiting.
go as
Yeah, we
As
went to an
please.
air-conditioned room with AC and
and water
Wi-Fi
and
and
Monster
free
Yeah.
water.
snacks.
Free
Yeah,
water,
so we
free
were very
whatever's
spoiled,
available.
and we admit
Yeah.
that. So
Extremely spoiled for
yeah.
this one.
and like we were waiting for we were waiting for bands to come in and out for interviews and things like that
Yeah,
too.
that
they
was
came to us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was a very
so-
different thing.
So we had the different wristbands, like
Yes.
most of them were like
Yes.
green
we, took,
and
I,
orange.
we posted a picture. I'll try to splice it in there too of our
Yeah.
6 superhero band wrists.
Especially John, who showed up.
Yes,
with like
I had
who came
3
with-
on.
He came with an infinity gauntlet of
Yes.
Sonic Temple bracelets. Well, if John, if you can give him a picture of that, yeah.
Snap and the bad weather goes away.
Yeah, I could have made it go away, but I didn't.
Yeah, we didn't have them all.
No.
That's why.
I didn't.
Monster.
I was missing the one. I was missing the redstone.
There you go.
Yeah.
So on Saturday the headliner was Disturbed.
Yes.
So I can at least see Gretchen and I can say this. It was a very stripped down set. We'll get into why in a little bit. But I can at least say this. David Draven sounded great.
He did.
I
He
was
sounded phenomenal.
impressed with how well he sounded.
He always sounds good live though.
I know. This was only my second time seeing Disturbed twice.
This was my 3rd time.
Right. So
And he sounds amazing all the time.
yeah, and they played a variety of hits too. Like they played everything from Back to the Sickness all the way up to today.
Yeah.
So they did a good coverage of that. So to go back into this a little bit, why it was such a stripped down set? Disturbed usually has something pretty elaborate.
Yeah.
Huge drum sets, pyro everywhere.
Well, their last album was a little bit more stripped back.
It was a little bit, yes, but they still have the presentation for their live shows.
Okay.
The reason why it was so stripped down, and I'll show a picture of it, it was just the drum set on the open stage and the 3 guys surrounding it.
Yeah.
That's it. And the reason why, because there was a serious accident earlier with Gojira.
Oh.
Which might have been
Yeah.
the most
Yeah.
metal thing I've ever seen at any
The
concert
pyro.
ever.
Yeah, the most metal thing I think most of us will ever see in our life.
Anyone
I
want to
can
describe
believe it.
what happened to Gojira?
I'll do the honor.
Go ahead.
Their guitarist was up on stage playing away. Their pyro went off. Windburst got a hold of it, threw it right into his face,
Fireball.
set him on fire. No joke, legit up in flames,
Burn.
Hetfield style, just bam,
Yeah.
It was
in
great.
flames. They took him back for a little bit. They said, "Oh God, did
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Joe actually went on the mic and said, "Is he okay?"
Did,
Yeah.
no, I think his specific words are, "Did he burn up?"
Yes.
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
No, they took him back. They took a minute to recollaborate themselves, kind of figure out what the situation was.
Joe had him chant Christian.
Yeah,
for the crowd.
Christian, yeah. And then you know what happened? Christian came
back.
back on and finished the
Well,
set.
sets. And not just the song. And that was like the fourth song.
It was
or
like the
something
fourth
like
song.
that.
They still played like
Yeah.
3 or 4 more songs after that. Yeah, and he finished the whole set.
How many
Guys.
bands do you know where someone was lit on fire on a 90-degree day
Oh.
and said, and then asked to go back, would actually do it? Heck no.
No.
So Gojira just earned that award of like most metal.
Yeah.
We thought it was like part of the show at first.
Well, it looks like it,
No,
just
it
like
looked
the
like
pyro
it was-
was everywhere.
Yeah.
It
And
was,
also-
it was very powerful.
It was like maybe it was an optical illusion because we were a little further back and it
Yeah.
wasn't actually on him, you know.
No.
No.
Yeah, I saw the photos afterwards.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is that Gojira said they were rusty coming into that. I didn't get much of that.
I did not
I
get that
did.
vibe
They
at all.
sounded great.
No, they sounded wonderful.
Yeah, there were a few
Yeah.
bands that we saw that said either there was sickness or they were rusty or
Yeah.
something, and everybody sounded really good.
Amazing.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly Gojira, they did not need to apologize for anything.
Nope.
in that
No.
show.
Not anymore either. They can
Yeah.
do whatever they want on any live show from now on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a cool moment.
Also, another band I think won you guys over just from live performance itself was Fever 333.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fever were-
Yes. Oh,
Just-
absolutely.
Well, it's Jason. I've seen Let Live before, so I know what to expect. So
Yeah, yeah.
Can anyone even like match an ounce of that energy?
no.
No, we're all
No.
bouncing all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not even so much on. He can't even be confined to the stage.
No, he was in the
he was in the
bleachers. I got a
bleachers.
video of him.
Bleachers.
The bleachers, standing on the rail,
Yeah.
leaning overhead, and literally just screaming
Right.
his
Yeah.
lyrics, while
Leaning against the
balancing on the pole with the security guards.
That was the
probably
longest
on.
mic cord.
I know,
I've
and
ever
then you can
seen.
see on stage someone feeding the line.
Yeah.
Over.
And he's holding it up like it's a power strand, like one of
Yeah.
the wires thing
Yeah.
runs electricity
Yeah.
through it.
See, that's why you get like a legit wireless mic.
Right.
Right?
I'm a little surprised they didn't have
Because
those.
that thing was
Yeah.
dangling across the whole audience.
And all,
I gotta admit, part of that the affectation of it made it extra cool.
Yeah,
It did.
like he
It was like,
took it all the way out here.
man,
Yeah.
there's so much
Yeah.
room for error. There's so much room for error with that, though.
I mean, you get more than 1 or 2 extension cords in my hand. I can
Yeah.
barely even,
Right?
I can barely even handle it.
Also,
You
there
know?
was a point where Jason was so wound up that he like lifted up the rug or the matting on the
Yeah.
stage and hid under it while
Yes.
singing.
Yes.
Like a weird version of peekaboo.
Yeah, he looked like a puppy who just found his way under the rug. Just
Which is a bit of a
And
weird
he's trying to find his way
He's
out.
trying to find his way out. He's like,
Oh my gosh.
my favorite part had to be when he just took that. It had to be a spontaneous spark of the moment kind of thing, but the moment when he took an entire trash can and just dumped it over his head and just kept singing with the trash can
That's
on top of him. He
amazing.
looked like a Sesame Street character.
Oscar the Grouch is
Oscar the Grouch.
sponsored.
Yeah.
Oscar the Grouch.
Which again, it's a weird thing to consider how political they got.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
expect that for someone totally ridiculous and out of scene on Warped Tour? No, they went for the throat on their political speech.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Well, Fever 333 is a band that is
They
like
they are
that.
a band because they wanted to make
Yeah,
statements like
exactly.
that. They said, you
But
know,
that was pretty common across the show. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of bands were making statements.
yeah,
Or
the
trying-
Interrupters did.
Yeah, particularly with a lot of the stuff that's been happening in Ohio recently,
Yeah.
like in regards to the abortion ban, the
Yeah.
abortion
Yep.
bills
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, a lot of bands had a lot to say about this.
And it was even into a lot of the artwork as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. It was all over.
So anyone else have anything that they remember from Saturday specifically?
Saturday was hot.
Yeah.
Saturday was
Besides it being way too hot.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
one. I've got one big one. in
Hannah
particular.
and Crash.
Sorry,
No, go ahead.
Hannah, go right ahead.
Ladies first.
Boston Manor.
Yes.
Movements were both fantastic.
Both of them.
Movement surprised me.
Yeah, he said he was
Movement
sick.
sounded great.
He
And
said he
I
was
thought it
sick.
sounded
He
good.
sounded better than we've ever seen them.
Yeah.
I was
Which-
impressed.
There's a little bit of extra grit in his voice
But it
that
worked
they
out.
really needed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, they
they
were
needed
great.
that.
And-
So he needs to stay stick all the time.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what we
yes.
said. No, we saw him afterwards.
Yeah, I told him
Okay.
I hope he feels better. But
Yeah. He was fine.
also, Boston Manor. I don't know if you were there for this part.
I
but
was.
The circle pit.
The circle
Yeah.
John jumped in.
I was in the
There's
circle
a
pit
clip
for
of
that.
I saw
was
the
amazing.
footage you shot of that.
Yeah, that
was
was
like
so fun.
crazy.
It was the
I did
biggest.
not expect that. that for their
No, I
crowd.
would
They
have known.
run
I
it.
would have like shot it from my.
It took a while for the crowd to get into it, but once they were into it, it was just
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just went
There were
on.
people running full laps.
Yeah.
So it was huge.
No, I was in
Yeah.
there running laps.
That was track.
Yeah.
That was
That
crazy.
We started, and then even afterwards, he was like, "Oh, Ohio, you love cardio."
In the sun too. That's not an easy
Oh, yeah.
run.
It was not, and they ran the whole song. It's a 3.5
Yeah.
minute song,
Yeah,
you know.
that's insane.
That's a good workout.
But
Yeah.
they were great.
Their crowd was great.
Some of my favorites.
Movement's crowd was great.
Yeah, both
Yeah.
of them were fantastic.
Movements won me over from their live show, so
Hell
I'm gonna
yeah.
ship more of their stuff out.
Yeah, that was
Crash.
we've seen them several times. And,
Yeah, they're great.
And Crash, what was your thing?
My big one, my absolute best of the night on Saturday had to be Lamb of God. Oh my God.
How would you describe Lamb of God to someone who's never seen Lamb of God before?
A religious experience.
Well, it's in the name, God.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
I'm in the
Someone
room.
pass me
Yeah.
a water bottle to chug.
I'll give you mine to throw at me.
Yeah.
There we go. But no, Lamb of God, just this, and I hate to, as much as I hate to admit it, this was actually my first time seeing them live. Every other chance I've had, something else has come up. I've never had the chance to actually catch them. This was my first time, and just, the intensity. They just never even let up. And the crowd was 150% into everything. Constant crowd surfing.
Yeah.
Never ending waves of crowd
That was
surfing.
Crash Test Dummies at that point.
Yes, yeah, basically.
But even then, Randy Blythe, he actually came out for the Gajira show.
But yes, he did.
As
He
a
came
little
out for
intro.
one. Yeah.
Or like a little part of the song.
Were
too.
you the only one to call?
I was the only one who caught Lamb of
Yeah.
God.
I shot it, so I saw the
You
first
shot.
few
Okay, you
songs.
saw
Okay.
the first few songs.
No, it was wild. There were people
Yeah.
going in the photo pit from the crowd surfing
Yeah.
constantly.
No, yeah.
That was pretty common. They were getting dumped into the photo pit.
No, they get caught by security.
They were supposed to.
So
Yeah.
they try.
Yeah.
But
They
if there's
tried.
that many, it's not their fault. You know.
Yeah, that's you're on your own, but still security's gonna try their best.
Well, circling back to that, do you remember? I don't know how many of you guys saw the Tom Morello set. That might have been on
Did not see
Friday.
I didn't get to see
Did not
it.
see
Yeah,
it.
I
I
saw
wanted
it.
to,
Well, but I think it was you and I crashed. Did we catch any of that?
Not the Tom Morello set. No.
Who was there? Because I remember seeing it, and I remember catching like he actually had people on stage with him.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
They were going crowd surfing,
Oh.
getting up.
Yeah, I did see that while I was walking by on the way
Right,
to something
yeah.
else. But no, that was crazy too.
We should also mention that on Saturday we actually saw some of you guys.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
we
And I
did.
was
Right.
totally calling it out myself. I did not expect such a good turnout.
Yeah.
For people who
Yeah.
pay to be at a festival to take time to
Take-
come
take-
see
see
us.
Out, yeah.
And we accidentally said it during In This Moment set.
Yeah.
We thought that
we didn't realize
we
that.
kind of thought that we had planned that better. We planned it around all
We
of us
tried our
being
best,
free. We
yeah.
tried. It's just so hard to
Yeah.
catch a spot.
So we went up to the upper tier and we saw people waiting, and like I was the last one to come, but like everyone was there.
Yeah, you
Like-
saw people
As
waiting.
soon as
Yeah.
we got there, it just started
Well,
right
we
away.
for a
Yeah.
split second, I think we were all kind of like, "Oh, no one's really here."
Yeah.
then
And
it
And
started.
then they
Non-stop.
bam, just instantly just clustered in.
We finally tallied it up. We sat down and talked to each other about it, and I met 15 different people,
Yeah.
which
Wow.
was
Yeah, at least.
yeah,
Wow.
and that I can remember at
Yeah,
least,
yeah.
and various others obviously.
Yeah.
Other points
Throughout
throughout.
We
the
all,
weekend.
yeah.
all of us had someone. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but in that
no,
one confined place
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
And
15
that's so
different people.
huge.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of you.
Yeah, oh,
As
absolutely.
I've
big
never
thank
met
you to
that
everyone that
many
came
once.
out. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Also, while that's going on, before we move on from Saturday, what did you guys think of In This Moment? Because I always get mixed opinions of that. What did you just overall thoughts of In This Moment?
We were pretty
We were-
busy during
I mean-
the.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
I
didn't see it,
was
you
too
didn't see it.
busy.
Yeah.
I was too
Yeah,
busy with fans to
Okay.
really get a
Talking the
good.
whole time.
I'd be lying if I said I actually.
Okay,
caught
that's
any of
totally
that.
fine.
I tried to catch a couple of minutes like off and on, but I liked what I heard.
Yeah,
Like
me too.
again, it's not with that kind of delivery. I've seen that kind of delivery scares me from certain vocalists, and she is a fearsome presence behind the microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, it's a sort of question where you said on previous albums she's had more melody.
She does. She sings as much as she screams.
Yeah,
And that's been a
So they've
consistent-
gone heavier? Is that what?
Yes.
Is that what
Oh,
you're
their
saying?
earliest albums are nothing but heavy almost.
Okay, not really.
But yeah, like they have a good range now. So yeah, I think that's a
That's
big
cool.
deal. So like I know Gretchen and I have seen In This Moment a few times ourselves. So yeah, and she actually got the limited edition Blood Blood album on vinyl because they had.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also,
She
describe
got some blood.
what happened to you during the In This Moment set? While you were
Yeah.
I was about to say, while y'all were up in the bleachers or wherever, I was down in the pit for In This Moment, and a guy's just like crowd surfing like normal, and another guy just comes up and pops him in the nose, and his blood goes everywhere, and it gets
on her.
And so I really got blood.
What kind of crap souvenir is that? Someone has blood.
You figured they'd save the rating.
Was it during the song
Yeah.
Blood?
Yes,
they did sing
That would
that.
be.
They
that-
did, but no,
Okay.
no, it was
Oh.
during Big Bad Wolf.
Okay.
Hannah cut her finger later and had a little bit of blood on her, and she was like, at first she was like, "Where did this come from?" I was like, "Oh, it's probably
Sorry, my bad.
compression." She said she got blood on.
Okay, so Saturday was the end of the hot day, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Also, while we were there, we were dead because we've been working the whole day. I know you guys had some fun after. Can you please describe to everyone what you did on Saturday night after you left the festivities of Sonic Temple?
Well, after we were done, a bunch of us left at different times.
Yeah.
I came back to the hotel, just slept, showered, did some just relaxing, got some food. Then we went to an arcade, and
Barcade.
and that was a lot of fun. We played Jenga, like
Nice.
when I say Jenga,
Giant Jenga with like
Giant
2x4s.
Yes.
and we won 2 out of 1.
Yes.
2 out
That,
of 3.
that was
Good representation.
Competitive
Okay.
Jenga, and it was great.
okay. Neither here nor there. That was the most crazy game of Jenga I've ever played.
I agree.
Oh,
I
wow.
loved it though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
it
it
was
was great. It was a ride.
Had no idea it was going to be that much fun. We
Yeah.
played a few arcade games. We played a round of Super Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Oh.
I won.
Yes,
Uh,
you did.
I was second.
That's probably the only time I've ever won a game of Smash.
And to be fair though, I'm
You're
used to
not
the
playing
Switch.
very
We're,
good.
we're used
Yeah,
to
I
the
mean-
Switch controls too. and
Yeah,
we're-
I was just pressing buttons.
I'm still gonna. I'm still
It was
gonna.
dark in
Smash
there.
pretty much.
It was dark. I couldn't see the controller and I didn't know it.
I'm still gonna brag like a motherfucker. That's a win for
But
me.
Okay,
then,
Who
then
did you play as?
Yeah, big question. Who was your character?
Bowser.
Kirby.
Pikachu.
Kirby,
So-
Bowser, Pikachu. Okay.
And yeah,
I
what?
was so, I forgot
Oh,
the
you were
name.
Link.
It was,
Link.
It was
Yeah.
No, she wasn't Link, it was Marth.
Mark. Okay.
Yeah.
Martha's
Okay.
a good
Something
one.
like
There you
that.
go.
Yeah.
Those are good. Those are the
Yeah, I
solid
like those
choices.
ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
So-
then
Yeah.
The good part.
Then the good part came because after a few drinks, we decided why not go sing in front of people at a karaoke bar, and we did just that.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Was this just normal? You stand in front of like the speaker box and actually just sing into it? What was it then?
It was a live band that were performing, and you had a selection of songs. There were probably like 4 or 5 different pages that you could.
Not
selection.
many. Not
Yeah, they were kind of
It was
spaced
probably
out,
between
but
like 30, maybe 35, 40-ish, somewhere.
Which is
Pretty
really
good.
good.
a
Yeah.
respectable amount of
Yeah.
A
songs.
respectable amount of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
It probably took them a long time to get all that learned. For
Yes.
sure.
A
Yes.
live band playing all these tracks. Mark started us off.
Well, the thing is that our 2 songs were the 2 sons that ended the night.
Yes, we closed
Yeah,
out.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
You set us up, and then we.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did Everlong, and
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because I actually checked out because Hannah and John both got some videos for Instagram Live.
Yes.
I checked on them this morning, and I'm like, oh, that wasn't terrible.
No, you really did. You did very
Which
well.
is fun.
You
You
did.
won the crowd over.
Yeah.
Yes, it was funny because there was a girl who approached me afterwards wearing a Foo Fighters t-shirt.
Nice.
Which
Oh.
was cute. So then after that, then John and Crash went up, and they did 4 Non-Blondes.
What's up? Yeah.
That was
Oh,
They
beautiful.
were harmonizing and everything.
I
It was
saw
really
yeah.
special.
If you haven't seen
We
this
got
on Instagram, I'm going to try to
free
spice
I'm-
it in if I can find it.
Okay.
They got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did.
I want
The-
to hear the oh my
the
god.
oh
Can we,
my God.
can we hear a rendition of this
Just
really
show
quick?
me a little bit. Just give
You
me
got to
some-
start with lead in with the and I cried.
All right.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
And I cry.
Oh my God, do I cry?
Okay.
That's about all I can use.
No, I'm worried that we're going to
That's going to be a noise complaint.
Yeah.
We are getting kicked. We are getting you
If
kicked
I
out of
get
the hotel.
fined and I have to pay a fine, oh, I'm hitting both of you guys up.
I'm gonna grab some pizza on the way out though.
I'm sorry, Luke. I try all the time. And this is.
In this institution.
That's 2 of you now. So it looks like you had a great night though.
Yes.
And worked out well.
Fantastic.
Sunday is the day where a little bit of a monkey wrench got thrown in.
Hey! And
That was
nobody
yours.
saw that
There's
perform
yours
live
for
but
that.
me.
That's all.
That's all.
Yes.
That's all.
So
And
we all got in, and the wind on Sunday morning was crazy. And we're talking like over 10 miles per hour at minimum.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the trees
They
were
were
blocking
saying it
over.
was near 50.
Yeah.
Gusts that were-
I mean, and this was not just like occasional. This was
Yeah, it was
consistent
crazy.
for hours.
I mean, they had to take down significant parts of the stage.
Literally, the entire right half of the the park, where the vendors and like music experience and FYE, that
Shut
stage
Had to get
shut off.
down. Yeah.
Everything was closed
That's where
off.
the wave stage.
The wave stage
Wave
was.
stage.
Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
even open.
Yeah, so as it went on, we found out they had to cancel all the bands at the wave stage on Sunday.
Yes.
That is a bummer. That's how bad the damage was. That's how hard the wind was.
So no
blowing.
one played all day there?
No one played all day on the wave stage. So D-Mob Happy, Star-Lord, Basements, Black Pistol Fire, Refused, and Stars on Broadway all got canceled up to this point.
Right. Yeah, and Basement canceled anyways
They
due to
canceled
sickness.
right before it got
Yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
Yeah, I don't know.
So you lost and then you lost some more
Yeah.
just to rub it in.
Yeah.
It's one of those days. I feel like it started with like a bad omen because she lost her
Oh,
phone to
yeah.
start off the day,
Yeah.
and that was 7 a.m. and we didn't get to bed till 3. So
you
you can
Took a
tell.
nap.
Yeah, you took it.
Wait,
back.
you guys
took a
didn't
good
get
nap.
We
home
had to.
Okay, wait a minute. You guys didn't get home till 3.
Maybe
We
get to
left
sleep.
the bar at 1:30.
We didn't get to sleep till 3.
Oh, gotcha.
Took a shower.
Yeah.
We had 8 too.
Yeah.
Can I just put this public PSA? Bathe when you're at festivals.
Yes. Please. We all
I'm
did.
that guy.
We all
We
did.
can do it.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to take that minute, but that
Well,
needs to
no,
be
that-
pointed out.
That is a public service announcement.
Yes.
Bathe!
Shower. And
Shower.
deodorant.
Yeah.
Deodorant,
Yes.
shower.
A little cologne couldn't kill you.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Change.
Mine.
Wear
Yeah.
clean clothes.
Clean
Yeah.
You
clothes.
know.
No one wants to see your 5-finger death punch shirt that has 8 holes in the belly and the armpit and
Sweat
on your back and
stains.
sweat stains and it says Tour 2007.
It's all Monster Energy for stain.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say.
Green stain.
Monster Energy does not count as an eau de toilette.
That's
Do
not a
not do that.
deodorant. You don't
No.
splash
They have
it
it
on
in
the
a spray
armpit.
bottle?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
That's how you break out.
Oh. So anyway, enough like for the PSA now is out of the way for all you festival goers.
Yes.
Pro tips for festivals.
Now,
So
what were we saying before that?
I know. So
Yeah.
Teenage Wrist opened up.
We are so sad. So
Devastated.
we are devastated that we missed
We just-
them.
I know.
We were
I
there.
missed them too because I was doing interviews.
Yeah.
I think I was the only one who saw them. Like,
Yeah.
You're
And-
lucky.
well, the sad thing is, I was watching this. You have to get the feeling that this is a really young new band,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
getting started.
Yes, yes.
Here, their first EP is out, and honestly, when I saw them, I was genuinely impressed in terms of a lot of the sound they put together. They were raw at points, but I think some of that had to do with mixing and sound issues they were encountering.
And probably the wind and stuff too.
Well, that's
Yeah,
my point.
yeah.
When you have the
Felt
wind
it.
as strong as it was, where the lights are swaying
Yeah.
up top,
Yeah.
and you are
Yeah.
a young band, and you are on a festival stage that might be one of their first couple times they've ever done
Like
something
a big
that.
Big.
audience.
This is a big
Yeah.
deal for a young
Yeah.
band.
And
Big.
keep in mind, the other stage was closed.
Yeah.
This was the only option for somebody to see something at that point of the day.
And they
Right.
stuck them so early too.
11:40 in the
Yeah,
morning.
Yeah, nobody else had played earlier than like 1:15.
Which
Right.
surprised me, honestly, because for a young band, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for as much buzz as they
Yeah,
had,
they're
Right.
really good.
They
too.
just stuck. I think they did them dirty there a little bit. They
Yeah.
could have, if Basement canceled, they could have pushed them to where Basement
Yeah.
slot was. But then again, that was on the stage. They got
Yep.
so
Yeah.
their hands were
Didn't
tied all
work
around.
out.
Hands were tied. It was out of everybody's
So
control.
and then it went on. So Dirty Honey, Amigo the Devil played. I like Amigo the Devil, who's like a folk comedy singer who sings about death.
Dirty Honey was fine.
Dirty Honey has a good classic rock sound, and they actually have a really good stuff.
I didn't catch them.
I saw them at Rockville. I
Okay.
saw them
They were
earlier.
really good there.
Halle Royale played on the Echo stage.
We
That
saw-
was the first one.
Yeah, we walked
saw.
in. They were
Yeah.
blank, so we just went to their set. And Mark, you were there.
I was there briefly. They were not my thing.
Yeah, I think honestly they sounded rougher today than when we caught them at Warped Tour, just
Mhm.
because I think the stage kind of played into it because
Definitely.
their lead
Yeah.
singer Remington is really animated and he likes to like climb on shit,
Right.
and you can't do that when the stage is rocking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not like literally lights, like heavy lights are swinging. Cymbals on the drum kit were like
Yeah.
unlevel.
We're rattling.
Yeah.
They did the best with what they could, but the sound was kind of blowing in and out with the wind and stuff
Right.
too.
So then the Glorious Sons played. And
That was
Caught part of
great.
that.
they sounded
Yeah,
great.
caught part of that.
I'm actually legit surprised that I was a little, because I remember catching the Glorious Sons back in 2014 when they were playing clubs in Toronto.
Yeah.
And now the fact they are on a headlining festival stage and are able to command the stage the way they did, that was impressive.
Yeah.
Although they didn't play heavy,
That's
hurts me.
odd.
But SOS sounded really good.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
agreed.
So then that worked out. So Youngblood, the Struts played.
No,
That was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah.
My
Struts
favorite
was a lot of
from
fun.
today.
Yeah,
They
we were.
were awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Very good.
Just
Talk about an
great
awesome stop
presence.
Yeah.
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 All over the
Luke.
place.
Yeah. Luke. What's his last name?
Yeah, Luke Spiller.
Luke Spiller.
Yeah.
Yeah. He cannot stay still.
Fun story with them. They were in the media tent.
Yep.
Afterwards, and Hannah and I decided to walk up to them because we wanted to get a photo with them. And Luke and their guitarist, I can't remember his name. They once we asked, he was like, "Do you do reviews on YouTube?" And I was like, "Yeah."
No.
And he's like, "Hey, we know you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wow!" And then after you guys left, Luke played with the Foos, and they did a cover of Under Pressure
Yeah.
with Luke on lead vocals.
That was cool.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool.
Mhm.
He's a real
stuff.
Queen guy, you know.
Yeah, he
He
sounded
really fits the-
Yeah.
It's that
You can
vibe.
tell
Definitely.
that's his
Yeah.
like
So it was,
influence.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely.
Big Queen influence
Yeah.
there for sure.
So then while we were all having a good time, we all sat back in media, we were eating, and then we were relaxing a little bit. I was doing interviews, going through photos, we were all checking out stuff. Then we started noticing things were happening.
yeah.
The
People,
wind was picking up.
But with-
Code
yeah.
Yellow was getting
First it was
Oh,
Code
yeah.
Yellow, then they had to evacuate the main stage. The entire floor, like so no one could stand at the main stage on the floor of the
Yeah.
arena. Everyone had to leave. So people could stay in the bleachers and seats, but everyone else had to like go to the side stage or just hang out like around the grounds. No music was being played at that point.
right.
We had to
Yeah.
wait, but no one had to evacuate.
Yeah, I think the only stage that was open was the Echo stage.
The Interrupter.
And we saw the Interrupters.
Yeah.
and that was
That
the
was
last.
the last one.
That was the last set that
They
we
were
got.
Yeah.
they were pretty much the last. Well, they were the second to last band that
The
played.
Hives played.
The Hives
played.
That's
and
right.
Then
I didn't see the
basically-
Hives, so
Yeah, I
I
didn't say I didn't get a chance.
And then came the storms and the evacuation.
Yes.
We had to get out.
yeah,
Yeah, we
So
had to
it came in like kind of a flash because like once we noticed it started actually coming down pretty hard,
They were-
that's when we told okay we got to start packing stuff up, but we didn't
Yeah.
realize we had to evacuate so quickly.
The fire
Yeah.
marshal came in.
Yeah, like legitimate
legitimate police,
Yeah.
fire officials were
Like we're at our
shouting,
table
shooting
going,
people.
okay,
Like,
pack it up,
time to
go, you gotta
Time to
go.
Yeah,
So we all went to our cars and waited for an hour.
it was an hour
At least an hour.
at least an hour.
Well, let's
Yeah.
clarify this because I think there's been some misinformation in terms of how this has been
Yeah.
presented on social media. I want to
Yeah.
dead some of this right now. For starters, there were fire marshals, there were police, there were people who came in and said there are winds gusting up to 50 miles an hour,
Yeah,
and this is causing potential damage to the sets. Like, and when we're seeing those lights swaying, if it was only getting worse,
Could have fallen on someone.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
It's,
So
they have no choice.
It's not even the festival themselves.
They don't
know.
It's the
No,
police
yeah.
and the
It's- yeah.
But they have to keep us safe.
But
It's
that's
not like
part
they
of
own the stadium.
Right.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's part of the point. So when you then see a lot of backlash that's been heaped on the festival saying,
Yeah.
well, you canceled these particular acts, we will get to that. And there are certain things that happen. This festival's a piece of shit. Look what happened with Epicenter.
Yeah.
See that?
And-
yeah.
And he's being tamed with that little
Yeah.
fake
Yes.
comment.
Yeah.
People were
Yeah.
savage to DWP on
Yes.
the Sonic Temple
Well,
media.
want their
Yeah.
money back
Everyone
because
owes
there
you,
was
yeah.
a few bands.
Right,
Like,
and
we
it's
had
like-
two
Yeah.
good days.
Right, we
Yeah.
talked about that
Yeah.
earlier. You saw
So
2
the
days.
third day,
Yeah.
it's a little spicy.
It's,
Yeah.
it's the price that you pay when you go to
Yeah.
a music festival.
Right,
Exactly.
You know, you expect that. It's
And
in the
this is
fine
something
print.
that no one could have prevented.
Nope.
Yeah.
See, no.
You
Yeah.
can't
It's a
control
risk
it. No
you're
one can.
taking.
You can't put a dome over the entire thing all of a sudden.
Also, and so about an hour, and they posted on their Instagram, on their socials, we will have an update for you at 7:30.
and they delivered one at 7:31. Like,
Yeah,
right
and
away.
they've lived up to it.
Yeah, and they
and
let
they
everybody
said-
back in.
Yeah, and the thing is, it was a bummer for some people because some bands got to get canceled. So only
Yeah.
the ones that got to play were Joan Jett, who played at 8:30, and Foo Fighters, who closed out the whole show at 9.
Yeah.
I said, if anyone could put a smile on everyone's faces after like be waiting in their cars, it's Dave Grohl.
Yeah.
And he did.
He
Yeah,
did.
He did. 100% made me feel so
Well,
much
he say that, but then you have certain people asking, "Where was Bring Me
Bring Me
the
the
Horizon?"
Yeah.
Like,
And it's a bummer.
I'm bummed.
I'm
I'm bummed.
very bummed.
We're all
Yeah.
bummed, but
Yeah.
like,
We
Yeah.
get it though.
yeah.
We're not going to go complain about our trip. And
Yeah.
with this media thing's
was
nice, but this
ruined.
so stupid.
Here's my thing. Why would DWP or anybody else book a band and not want them to play?
Right. Yeah,
like they're
The goal is to
devastated.
want them.
Yeah.
Want them. They are losing money on
Yeah.
this. You know
They
that?
paid for nothing at that
Right.
point.
They paid for nothing.
Everyone
There's a
loses.
guaranteed
Yeah.
salary that they were gonna get.
But so many comments were, I'd rather have this Bring Me the Horizon than Joan Jett.
Well, you don't get to make the
Get
decision.
Get out of here.
You don't
Yeah.
make
Go to a Bring Me the
Yeah,
Horizon.
Joan.
You know what?
We
Yeah.
watched a little
I
bit of
love
Joan
her.
Jett.
Yeah, she was great.
Well,
Yeah.
and keep in mind, Joan Jett's rock royalty.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
the 70s.
And she's here. She came to your festival.
Yeah.
Let her
Right.
play.
And if you're gonna go,
Yeah.
and let me piss off some people right now. When you're Bring Me the Horizon touring on a lukewarm at best album,
Or Joan Jett.
versus
Over
Joan
Joan
Jett
Jett.
versus a rock
At a
legend
rock
in the
festival.
Hall
At
of
a
Fame,
festival. Yeah.
get over yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and
plus-
you know what? Joan Jett didn't have to do that.
No,
Yeah.
she's
Again,
the
like you
one
said,
lady, yeah.
She is in her she is
She's
in her
60, yeah.
60s.
Yeah, she's 60.
She has already proven everything she's got to prove. You know what? They've already got every reason
Yeah.
in the world
And
to
they're gonna be
cancel and
around.
excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
Joan
yeah.
Jett could
They're
have.
not going anywhere.
Brandon can come
Yeah,
back.
Joan Jett
Brandon-
of all people could have
Yeah.
called into Mulligan and said, you know what? I
Joe
probably
could have
shouldn't
just sat
play.
on her bus and everyone would be like, okay, ma'am, sorry to bother you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
So she came out. She delivered a good
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
for
she
people,
did.
And she was a true total rock star.
She did.
And even then, like even from everything I've heard about the Bring Me the Horizon show, not to crap on them anymore, but they've got a pretty expansive show.
That's
They do.
the thing.
See,
They
yeah,
didn't have
that's
time.
another big
They
thing.
didn't have time to set all that up.
Exactly.
Because
And
you
I'm
gotta get the booze on.
And I'm bummed about that too. I wanted to shoot Bring Me the Horizon in daylight.
Yeah.
I was excited too, but I get it.
Yeah.
The only other
What are you gonna
chances.
do?
Bring Me the Horizon is going to be around for a long
Yeah,
time.
you have
Yeah,
a chance.
I-
Breaks
you
up
know.
tomorrow.
Take it, Ollie!
Don't jinx it.
Yeah.
So so our Sunday was kind of wrapped up a little bit with that, but we ended with Foo Fighters, who were fun. They were great.
Yeah.
They're funny,
Dave Grohl was
They were
laughing
funny.
about it. It's like, you thought we weren't going to
Yeah.
play, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. We all had a fun time.
Yes.
I'm willing to bet 90% of everyone that came,
Had a
even the
great
people that complained about Sunday, had a fantastic
Should've
experience.
embraced
This was
it.
great.
I don't see people frowning too much watching Foo Fighters.
Right?
Yeah.
You know,
What
like-
kind what kind of sad sack would do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Ugh, learn to fly.
Oh,
Ugh.
my hero.
That was the guy he called out.
Oh yeah.
Remember that
Wait.
tough guy in the
Oh yeah, he
front?
called out. Were you guys there for that?
I don't
It
think
was
so.
kind
We
of
had to leave
later.
early.
Yeah, it was. We stayed a little bit later in the set just because they were on my bucket list. I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
see. some
I've
Foo
seen them.
And
Fighters.
after missing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, go ahead. The guy in the
Well,
front
I don't even
row.
remember what the guy said.
He was like in a muscle. It was
he
like
just
a.
looked like he wanted them to get on.
Yeah,
with,
he
like,
was like-
because Dave kept talking and like banter and stuff.
Yeah.
And what did he
He's like
say?
he's like this fucking guy. He's like this guy wants me to get on with it.
He's like-
He's like he's up here doing this. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna get on with it.
He like imitated like a really heavy like
Yeah,
scream
and he's
band,
like,
"Ooh."
He's like, you want me to do this? Ooh.
It was so funny. Yeah, he was
He
trolling.
would do that.
He's like,
would
is this
do
what you
that,
want?
yeah.
Is this what you want?
Yeah,
Just
he
spell
kept
it up for you.
And then he's like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And then they went into fucking learn to fly or something.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Learn to Fly was earlier.
Yeah, that was the third
Maybe it was
song.
Times Like
Yeah.
These.
Yeah, that was-
Times Like
There
These.
you go.
Times Like These.
A nice happy song.
Yes,
Yeah.
there was a really, really nice moment though. I can't say that I'm a Pauly Shore fan, but
Yeah.
but Pauly Shore's dad passed away last
Yeah.
night.
Last
Oh.
night.
I didn't know that
Didn't know
because
that.
Pauly Shore actually opened up the set.
Okay,
Also.
yeah, he
Yeah.
passed away late last night
Yeah.
from what
Oh,
Dave said.
I didn't know that.
They brought Dave brought Pauly out on stage and dedicated My Hero to his
Yeah.
dad.
I
Oh.
almost cried.
Yeah,
It was
I
really
teared up a little
sweet.
bit, honestly. It was really, really, really nice.
Yeah, a
And
lot of people rag on Pauly Shore. I know I have too,
Yeah,
but
I
that's
don't-
actually legitimately awesome.
I can set it
That's
aside. I don't care about
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, but
You
that was a
love
nice
people,
moment.
you know?
Yeah, people are people. You lost
We're
your
all
dad.
people.
I know,
Sure.
right? Your show got canceled because all the comedy, because they had comedy
Yeah.
acts and spoken word acts too.
Right.
At this festival, they were all canceled today also.
Right.
That was Pauly
Yeah.
Shore's big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
So that's intense too. Also, did anyone see any of the spoken word comedy stuff when they
No.
had a
I didn't
chance?
get a
No,
The
we didn't.
line was
Yeah,
so
the line
long.
Yeah, it was always
crazy.
packed.
Like you didn't have a
Yeah.
chance.
I wanted to go see Tom Morello.
I did too to see what he had to say, but like the line was literally to
Yeah.
the point where people were like overflowing out of the seating area.
Yeah, I tried to catch Henry Rollins on the first night we were there.
Yeah,
And the line was so
yeah.
big, and it was literally almost up against the media tent
right.
where we were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
next year that is one thing that could be improved.
That is something like a
Absolutely.
critique, like more seating for that.
Yeah.
More
Bigger
seating.
And the
stage.
parking
Parking.
situation.
Yes,
And
either
the
get like
Uber and Lyft.
Crash and I and
So-
Anna walked after the rain out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would walk 500 miles.
And 500
And
more.
then 500 more coming back.
Well, either that or we hire what is it called? The pedicab.
Oh, the pedicabs.
Pedicab.
Yeah.
We have to get a pedicab.
We got a
to your
pedicab.
car.
That's rock and roll. 3
Yeah.
people riding in a 2-person pedicab. That's rock.
But like the parking lot, there's so much there, and there's so much construction around the
Yeah.
area.
Yeah.
It was just
So like
Your lights
we were
flashing.
like myself, Gretchen, and Mark were lucky because we got there at the right time, like at an early enough time to want to get the table and media. However, these guys weren't so much, and I'll end with this a little bit to wrap up some things. Our Sunday night was a lot easier than John and Hannah. Could you please explain what happened to you tonight after Foo Fighters? You decided to leave and everything was going good.
I'm gonna let you take it because my voice is
Well,
hoarse after the Foo Fighters.
I was ready to get out of there, but he kept wanting to see the rest of the songs. I
Well,
didn't blame
we-
him, but
Yeah.
I was like, we need to like get going before everybody comes. And obviously it takes forever to walk over there. And then the Uber and Lyft area is so far away from
It's so
everything.
far.
It's
Yeah.
like impossible to find. There's no signs.
Yeah.
So like I
We
don't
got
know
a little
where
bit
we're going.
lost there.
In the dark.
Yeah, in the dark. And then
We called the first Lyft.
and it was the first one. I couldn't remember. He couldn't. I couldn't understand it, but he couldn't get to where we were, and
Right.
he didn't understand that this was like the Lyft Uber area. So
Uh-huh.
canceled that one. No problem. Fine. We'll get another one. Second one, we walk over a little bit further to a less populated area, and people are starting to come out from Foo Fighters at this point because they
Yeah.
finished their set by then. And but that person came and drives right by us.
They drove right past us.
And
they
we're
just
looking
kept
at the
going.
app. You know how it shows
Yeah,
the
it
car?
shows you exactly where you
It
are.
sped right by. And
And I tried calling him, just hung it up on me. Like,
Oh,
didn't even answer.
twice.
I'm like, where the fuck are you? And they never came back. And then we got transferred to a new driver.
who
Which-
had a lot of trouble finding us
So
too.
finally we saw him, and he was going past us too. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, we were on the corner and I waved to him because I saw on the app, okay, it's a blue CRV. All right, here's the guy. We wave at him and he waves and keeps driving.
Hi, friend. Why else
We're
would you wave? Hello, friend.
We're running
We're
out.
running behind
Nice car.
Yeah. I was like, my God, I was like, the Foo Fighters song Run, I didn't know I'd be doing it tonight, you know? Run for your life. And we ran, and it was raining at this
Yes.
point, might I
The
add.
rain
That storm
started
It had
again.
started
This-
raining.
Yeah, we're in the rain, running.
Oh, you should talk about the lady that was yelling at people.
Oh my
We didn't
God.
even tell you guys this.
Yeah, we did.
Tell us that.
Somebody lived right on that corner where everyone's like ordering
getting
their
the
Ubers.
house.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
And they-
Oh man.
So
Oh,
naturally,
no.
everyone's like going over their grass to like get to the other side.
Oh.
She kept saying, "Get off the fucking grass!"
Get off
Like
the
literally,
grass.
and people would be in the middle of the grass, and she's like, "Get off the fucking grass! Get off the fucking grass! How am I gonna get off the grass without walking through the rest of the grass?" I'm like,
Oh man.
It's like she wanted them to stop
she was
right
so
there
mad.
and just
I'm
fall
like,
down.
dude, just
And, like-
relax.
The floor's hot lava.
Right, that's what I said. That's what I said.
There were a few people that like clapped back.
Yeah,
at her.
they,
Like,
she,
I thought there was gonna
I
be
thought
a
there was
fight.
going to be a fight big
It was
time.
crazy.
But
That's
that-
scary. That's her property.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But I'm saying the people clapping back, I thought there was going to be a fight.
No, but the scary thing is that she goes in the house and gets a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be there for that.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, so we'll wrap up with this. Did anyone see anything freaky, like freaky people, freaky dress up, freaky costumes?
I have a good
I
one
saw
for
moshing dinosaurs.
Okay.
There were 4 of them.
That was cute. I saw
this.
that.
Yeah, that was cute.
That was probably one of the
Yeah.
Oh, the giant dick.
Yeah, giant dick.
Yeah.
There was a big
Yeah.
blow
Yeah.
up.
Topless crowd surfer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top
Yeah.
list, yeah.
I saw a flying unicorn crowd surfing and a flying squirrel crowd surfing.
Saw that a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
same here,
Deadpool,
same here.
Spider-Man.
Deadpool, Spider-Man.
There was,
Flash and reverse
Where's
Flash.
Waldo?
Yeah, where's Waldo?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was Reverse Flash. I
That
thought
was
it was
Reverse
Pikachu.
Yeah, no, me too at first. I thought it was like a weird
should've worn my
buff
Pikachu
Wow.
but yeah, no.
a weird buff Pikachu.
It looked like, it was
weird
hard
buff
to tell. It was hard to see.
On Pika Man.
Pika Man. Pikachu's a boy.
Hey, we
Maybe
saw
we
the
just did
Sonic
it,
trailer.
yeah.
We know what's possible.
Yes, we do.
So we all saw some freaky stuff, but I think it was actually
Pretty tame.
It was still
all things
pretty tame for
Pretty tame.
festival standards.
Yeah, it's what I would
Rockville's
expect.
church compared to Rockville.
What's church?
At Rockville, we saw everything you can imagine. Pasties galore.
Yeah.
We saw
It's like Bonnaroo.
two teenagers, like a dom and sub, like the teenager was on a leash being led around by the guy. Everything you can think of. So Sonic Temple, classy.
Classy.
Well
Much better.
done. Compared,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh yeah.
So, big question. Would you come again next year?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Depends on the lineup.
Depends on the
Oh,
lineup.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Fair
yes.
enough.
Yeah, it's always. I mean, the
Yeah,
experience is one
that's-
thing, but
yeah.
the lineup is
Well,
I
always.
would like
fair.
to
Lineup
see
is-
them progress and see
Say,
where they change. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, say this. Say 2/3 of the bands are bands that you would totally be willing to see.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2/3?
I think I would
Yes.
give it
that'd be
another
worth
go.
it.
Yeah.
That would be worth it.
I'm the same thing too.
I mean,
I'll go further. I say I probably only really cared to see maybe 40% of the acts on the bill
Uh-huh.
in total, but this is like the acts that I really cared, I really wanted to see. But when it comes down to that, I found bands that I genuinely would not
Right.
have checked out without this, and
Yep.
that was worth seeing.
it's eye opening.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Top 3 for anyone, real quick. Top 3. You don't have to give details, but
Okay.
top 3. It doesn't have to be in order.
Hey, we're back. The memory card got full. So the question was just posed, like top 3 for the weekend. I don't know if I have a top 3. Ghost is my number 1 for sure.
Yeah.
Who else has a number 1? Because there's also a lot of bands that I also
Hard
really
to
enjoy.
say.
I certainly have. I think I have a top 3 generally that I can
Okay.
go with.
That's good.
Don't hold me to this
Same,
gospel or
when I say
anything.
A loose
I would
top
say
3.
Yeah.
very loose top 3. I would say at number 3, Hailstorm.
Yeah.
Hailstorm absolutely blew me away with how well they were on stage. Number 2, Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost. I mean, God, they just brought such a hell of a show. And plus, that was the first time I'd ever seen them with pyro.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
usually to the indie shows, they usually don't bring pyro. So that was excellent. And my number 1 is just again, it's Lamb of God. They just absolutely tore the roof off the building, built another roof on the building just so they could tear it off again.
Well said.
Amazing show.
I think I do have my top 3. So I said Ghost at number 1. Number 2, I would put Gojira because it was a great
Yes.
show. Fire, immolation put aside when they sacrificed someone to the metal gods.
Yeah.
However, and then number 3, I would also give Hailstorm
Yes.
because they really knocked it out in the park.
They
with what
truly
did.
did. Yeah.
So anyone else?
Mark?
I would do a top 4. Top 4 if only because my number 3 is a tie.
Okay.
Number 1's Ghost because
Yeah.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Number
Yeah.
2 is Glorious Sons, which
Okay.
I thought would just catchy. The crowd was into it. I've been a fan of the band for a while. I was really impressed how well it came together. My tie would be split between the Foo Fighters, and from what I saw of it, I didn't see all of it because it left early. It's the same sort of thing. But I'd also probably put it up with a tie with Bad Flower.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was-
Good choice though.
Fair.
Good choice.
Yeah, good choice.
I was legit surprised how much I liked the Bad Flowers. It had a bit of a Death Havana side to it, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Either of you.
Yeah, I guess I'll expand to number 4 too because I really think the Bad Flower are worth giving a mention to. I love their set. They brought a lot of energy and the crowd was super into it. Number 3, I think I would do Foo Fighters just because legendary. I mean, it was like one of those things that I'd been waiting for. It's like that moment that I needed for a long time. And they were I think they were playful even more so on stage, the banter and everything, just because they didn't necessarily know 100% if they were going to play. And then they got to play and then they brought it.
And then they-
So it was really awesome. The crowd was loving it and all the guys seemed super into it in the band too.
That's good.
2, I would say Boston Manor. We had so much fun for a smaller band.
Yeah, you got to work out.
They brought
Yeah.
it. I got to work out in the Circle Pit. Number 1, System of a Down. You guys,
Okay.
if you know me, you know.
Yeah.
That was my first time seeing them, and it was just one of those life-affirming things.
Hannah?
3 for me is probably Ghost. I was just really impressed because I'd never seen anything like that before. 2, probably the Struts. I
Yeah.
thought that was a lot
Okay.
of fun.
Yeah.
And then number 1, Boston Manor. I just thought for being such a smaller band, they just killed it.
They
Yeah.
really
A lot of
opened up the
fun.
show right.
And honorable
Yeah.
mentions to Ghost for me too. I'd seen them
Yeah,
before
you
too,
did.
and I had seen them with Pyro. They opened for Avenged Sevenfold, and they used Avenged
Gotcha.
Pyro. Yeah, so
Gretchen?
that was amazing.
For me, probably 3 would be Parkway Drive.
Yeah. They sounded
I was
really
gonna
good.
say I
did
hadn't
sound
seen them
great,
live
yeah.
before, but they killed it.
Yes.
They were absolutely amazing live too. In this moment, I know it's more of the Maria Brink and Friends show. She changes outfits every single song, but I just, oh my god,
It works.
It works, and they're just fantastic. And number one is Ghost. And it's kind of weird for me not to list Disturbed in there, but I think because they had the limited set. Because
Limitations for the rest of the day.
Given everything.
Because Disturbed is like my second favorite band behind Shinedown. So,
Nice.
kind of weird for me not to list them. But
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but Ghost was just.
Yeah, Ghost nailed it though.
They really did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Shout out to Architects as well. Forgot to mention.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out. They really did good.
So there's so much that happened. If you were at Sonic Temple, leave a comment, especially if you saw us there. But please leave a comment saying how you felt about the festival. If you've been to any one of these DWP festivals, let us know. Would you go to one of these festivals? Did you have a good experience? Talk to people and let everyone know. Just want to thank all you guys again for being there. This was our first real get together, all of us, the Rock
The Rock
Coliseum.
Coliseum,
Coliseum,
yeah. This is the first time we've
The
all
first-
ever been in the same
Same
vicinity.
room at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly,
Yeah.
So this was like a big deal for us too, and we got to do it on really good terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining us for this. We'll go around the room one more time, say where we can find your channels. We'll just go right to left again. Mark?
You can find me at Spectrum Pulse. That's pretty much what I've got on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, my own personal website, spectrumpulse.ca. Got Patreon under that as well. Also, just a quick note, if you've been wondering where Billboard Breakdown, my weekly series where I talk about the Hot 100, where that is, it's now on my second channel, which is specifically devoted to Billboard Breakdown, where I am currently in the process of uploading all the old episodes of the show that goes back to 2014 on that channel as well, as they get unlisted on the original channel, just got moved over there with some slight re-editing and some retouching. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Gretchen, where can we find your channel?
You can find me at Go Gretchen, and you gotta make sure you spell it correctly. It's like the Louisiana spelling for go, Geaux. I mostly talk about piercings and tattoos, and if I get to 10,000 subs, by the time summer gets here, I'll pierce Luke's nipples.
In his sleep. In his sleep.
Just kidding, I won't do that. Sorry.
In his sleep, we
In
talked
his
about
sleep.
this.
Subscriber
Yes.
drive.
Pierce nipple prank on my boyfriend.
We're having a long discussion on the way home. Crash, please save me from this and keep it going.
Crash, tell him it's not that bad. You got yours done at the festival.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
That's where that blood came from.
Okay,
He
that's,
was
a little,
the guy-
that's a little too.
He was
real.
the crowd surfer and Luke punched him.
You're ruining my view of Maria Brink.
Rock Coliseum exposed.
Hey, do you think the beauty community has got it going on?
We'll just call out a drama right away. We don't hold it back right. We don't wait.
Oh my god.
Rock credit.
So anyway, I'm Crash Thompson. I host The Rock Critic. Just look up The Rock Critic on YouTube. It's T-E-H Rock Critic on all of socials, Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, because somebody's squatting on The Rock Critic.
Lame.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
Oh, this is a Rock Critic exposure. This is a
Rock Coliseum.
Hey, I'm holding out for that
Rock
10K payment. I think it's worth it, Crash. We'll talk more about it later.
John.
Hey, I'm ARTV. If you have not checked out my channel already, I talk about music in the form of like countdowns, rants, reviews, really anything, new release stuff, occasional throwbacks. I got a few bigger videos in the works. I'm doing the top 10 worst band names of all time.
There's some good ones to choose from.
Yeah.
Bad ones.
It's gonna be really fun. I've got a video essay about the lyric site Genius that I'm working on.
Very interesting.
A couple of cool projects coming down the pipeline pretty soon.
Okay. Hannah?
You can find me at Infinity on Hannah, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff. I do music content, sometimes reviews, other lists and things like that for the most part, but yeah.
Good. And my name's Luke. You're watching this channel on Rocked. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please do not listen to Gretchen. She will not be piercing my nipple, no matter how many subs she gets.
10K by tomorrow and we'll do it.
By tomorrow!
Got a little ways to go, but I got the equipment.
Stop making those your goals in life.
We're gonna do it full Parent Trap style.
What do we get in 20? What do we get in